Well, I got someone better than John Cena.
Oh, this will be good. Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he's my intro.
Oddly works for this sort of intro.
There we are.
It's better than like fucking Brock Lesnar when you came to work the other day and scared the crap out of me.
That wasn't even the intention. I thought you might have heard the door open.
Literally, all I heard was like the squeal at the start, like, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh Christ! Right. Hello everyone. My name is Stephen Hook, and this is the Angstcast. Across from me is it's just Barden. It's Callum Barden.
The one and only.
The one. So this is kind of this episode is kind of different from all the other ones I've done, because usually people come on and they bring a thing and I get angry. I've pitched an idea to you and you want to get me annoyed with it because you know exactly how to get me annoyed with this, don't you?
Of course.
I don't like that was too snide, because you're one of the few people around here I can talk to about wrestling and who actually watches wrestling, understands wrestling.
Very religiously. I pray to John Cena every night with myself with baby oil. And,
that's a horrible mental image.
And then I can never see myself in the mirror.
That was awful. That was literally... Oh, fuck's sake. So yeah, this past Sunday was WWE Battleground. And we all went to yours, and we all watched it. And I wasn't expecting it to be that great. Because it's the one before SummerSlam, and SummerSlam's always the big one.
I expected about 3 of the matches to be good.
Which ones were you expecting?
Triple threat and the 2 6-mans.
Yeah, that's fair. What, not even Zayn Owens?
Oh, yeah, there's that one as well.
Yeah.
But then again, it was just like that's coming up. That's obvious because they always put on good matches. So
Yeah,
it's kind of like there's no need to be like, I wonder if that will be good.
So the plan for this week, which I pitched to you, is we're going to go through Battleground, talk about why it was good and all the very, very, very terrible parts. Because we were discussing before we came on, I was very, very tired through a lot of it because I just finished work and I'd been up for a long amount of the day cleaning. So the further on in the card it gets, the more my my memory is kind of blurry. But we're going to go with that, and then at the end, if we have time, Final Deletion.
Yeah.
Because that just I need to talk about that to someone.
It is quite something.
Oh my god, it's fantastic.
Have you ever seen The Room by Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah.
That's basically what the Final Deletion is.
Yeah, that's actually really good. The wrestling equivalent of Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Like, it's so bad, but it's so entertaining at the same time.
Oh, it's tragic. But we'll get to that in a minute. This was the first show. Well, no, last show, sorry. Before the draft comes into effect, isn't it?
Yeah, permanently, like.
Yeah, so it made the card weird because you've got people fighting into brand, that's fine, but you had title matches. So as soon as like one was decided, you know exactly how the other one was going to finish, because the belt on SmackDown was being defended against someone from Raw, and the belt from Raw was being defended against someone from SmackDown.
Yeah.
So as soon as one happened, you knew what the other one was. Just hoping for a good match. But we'll start right at the very top with arguably the match of the night.
Of course.
The Usos versus Breezango.
Which was actually a genuinely good match.
It was surprisingly good because the Usos are kind of stale. I'm throwing it out there. I don't like the Usos.
Oh, I've never liked them. I mean, I think they're brilliant performers, but the characters, as someone put it, are like robotic candy bars.
Was that Adam Blompier by any chance?
Yeah.
They're just... You're right, they do have like the cool like jumps and the big spots, but they're so cheesy, just so happy all the time.
They're basically how The Rock started in '96.
Yeah, and look how that turned out. Everyone told him to kill himself.
Yep. They're basically the tag team version of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I was thinking that was a good shout. And then Breezango, who... Because I'm sure you get this. It's really hard to defend wrestling sometimes as a legit thing to watch.
Of course.
Breezango is a tag team. It's Tyler Breeze, he wears fur boots, has a top knot, and takes a selfie stick everywhere.
Yeah.
And Fandango, who the only reason he's popular is because his theme song can make a cool dance.
And he's a good wrestler.
They're both good wrestlers.
Sorry, superstar.
Oh, fuck off. On the face of it, though, when you like switch on wrestling for the first time and you see that, a man bun selfie boy and a dancer, beating two guys who can do the
It kind
haka.
of destroy the image of when you see like big guys like Brock Lesnar. You hear all about news and John Cena, and then you just kind of see those like hipster boys that you see walking around town.
Fuck boys.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and Fandango's career trajectory to me is just incredible. He debuted at WrestleMania 29, was it? 30?
29.
29 against Chris Jericho, beat Chris Jericho, and Jericho's a 6-time world champ. He beat him on his debut at Mania.
Even though it looked like a bit of a botch up.
Yeah, it was a bit of a...
I remember rewatching it, and it was bloody like, even then he still cocked it up.
It wasn't the best of matches, and then the month later, I think it was Extreme Rules, Jericho beat Fandango. He called him names on the show, on the like weekly shows like Raw and SmackDown, and then that was it. And then Fandango, ever since, has just been sort of like
he got injured,
stagnant.
And then that kind of ruined his streak.
His
run.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. But the match, Breezango versus Usos, I actually thought was kind of good for it was pre-show. Usually there's just like it was a total job match. It's like there was no build-up. I'm caught up on.
There wasn't any build-up. Like, Breezango have had like a few wins, but Usos have done nothing since their little rival with the club, and that was it.
It's just I don't.
It was like thrown together like 2 days ago, and I thought, lol.
I don't understand why, because surely there must have been something else that been a bit more appropriate than that.
No, I can't think of anything.
There's nothing really been like gripping, like no like mini feuds going on.
Mini feuds, not really. Not I can think off the top of my head.
Like if anything, I would have thought that match would have been Breezango versus Golden Truth, because they're still trying to milk that, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's been going on a bit too long.
Yeah, I agree with that. So after that was the case. That was the only pre-show match. Kind of over with quick. First match in, it was Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks and a mystery opponent who no one could ever guess. Not even Dave Meltzer, who was like the god of wrestling, knows everything. Not even he knew who it was or he could guess.
Well, to be fair, it was kind of given obvious.
Of course it was obvious. My granddad could have predicted that, and he's been dead 6-7 years. Everyone knew it was going to be Bayley. And I don't understand, because I was happy with it being like, who's it going to be? And everyone knew it was going to be Bayley, up until Sasha put a tweet out saying not even Dave Meltzer can guess who it is.
See, that made me disappointed but happy at the same time. Because I was like, ooh, Alex are going to throw a curve, but no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they could have put, like, just before it was happening, we were like speculating. You said Trish Stratus, which I think would have been a good shout.
Yeah.
I was saying Lita. I think you said Nikki Bella as well. I think Alex said Nikki Bella.
I said Nikki Bella.
I would have been livid for Bella.
Because it was when What Culture Wrestling Adam made a predicament. I was like, ooh, it's quite a good one, but I don't think people would have been happy.
I hate the Bellas, both of them. I don't care.
I like to look at them.
Of course you do.
Even though, to be fair, Brie is like the better wrestler. I mean, superstar.
Oh, stop.
Diva.
Oh, don't call them divas. But I've been having a look online. Like, if they were going to call up like an indie star, like from underneath everyone, there's a few names. There's Christina Von Eerie, who had a run in TNA, and I think was rumoured to have a contract a while ago. She's got a massive mohawk. She's actually really good. There's a few in Lucha Underground. So Iva says, I can't pronounce it. Sexy Star.
Oh, well, she's retired now.
Is she actually?
Yeah, I saw it on my phone. I was going through Bleach Report and it said she's retired.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, who's this? And then
Damn.
it came up.
That's a shame.
I think so. I'm going to have to confirm this, guys.
Giving my listeners false information. Candice LeRae, I think, would have been really good.
Who?
She's Candice LeRae. She's the one who, in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, she's the one that actually wrestles a lot of the guys.
Yeah.
And she's actually really, really good, and she can hold her own against a lot of them, and she can take some massive bumps.
Basically, she sounds like the modern day China.
Kinda, yeah, but she's about the size of AJ Lee,
Yeah.
who would have been a good shout to have in. She would never have done it,
No.
because she's retired and CM Punk and all the things that go along with that. But having AJ Lee would have been incredible, especially teaming with Sasha, because they're quite similar in terms of size, appearance,
That would be.
kind of appearance.
And like personality
Yeah.
traits.
The actual match itself, I thought it was alright. It was nice seeing. It was a nice little nostalgia thing seeing Bayley.
Yeah, it was a nice little tag match.
I'm surprised.
Nothing mind-blowing like.
Yeah, it wasn't like Women's Revolution sort of thing. But I'm surprised they went with Charlotte to take the submission.
Yeah, maybe Dana Brooks suffered enough. Bless her.
Oh, she's fucking. Oh, I don't like Dana at all.
I have a soft spot for her. But
Why?
I don't know.
I just don't think. She got brought up too soon. If she stuck with Emma, I think that would have been cool.
That's probably why she's been stuck there. Oh, the sexy style character has been.
Oh, the character's been officially retired, but the actual woman herself was really good. Yeah, if she stuck with Emma, I reckon she would have been alright because they were thinking about having like a tag team women's belt, but because Emma is quite injured at the moment, she's got a big back injury, isn't she?
Yeah, she has. I mean,
Back one, neck, one,
I
two.
think she's just recovering from it because like her photos of her just like chilling around.
Yeah,
She's not like in hospital recovering. I think she's just kind of staying low.
but I'm surprised. Do you reckon? Because I'm willing to bet they're going to. Because Bayley was only a one-time thing. She said she's going back to NXT and try and become the first ever two-time.
Well, I know she's got a match against Asuka at Brooklyn
Has she?
NXT in August. Yeah, that's probably why it's the one off. But I don't think she'll win.
No.
I get the feeling this was kind of like
A send-off.
Vince was like, I'm not sure what I think of you, so let's put you
Oh,
out
test
there.
the waters.
Yeah.
That's fair. Do you reckon? By that, then I reckon they're going to do Sasha and Charlotte at SummerSlam.
Yes.
Do you reckon? Because Adam from What Culture is saying that because she's managed to pin her beat her in a tag match, she's not going to beat her one-on-one because they always do that. She's going to make it. She's going to make. Oh.
I'd rather Sasha win because
Oh, yeah.
Charlotte's starting to get a bit boring.
I think she's gotten
At the
better
time.
since she got rid of her dad.
Yes.
Because as much as I do love Ric Flair, he just needs to go away for a while.
Well, it was just more like it'd be like if Natalia came out with Bret Hart all the time.
Yeah.
It just it'd just be like you're using your uncle's success, whereas she's using her dad's, and it was just hard to distinguish the two.
On the subject of Ric Flair, have you heard that he's got a problem with Carl Anderson at the moment?
Oh yeah, because he made like an old joke about him.
He
I couldn't find what the joke was, but I read about it and I thought, really?
basically the club. So AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows used to have their own podcast way back in the day. They went on Chris Jericho's and they were doing like some of the characters he used to have on that old podcast, and one of them is like a parody of Ric Flair, and Ric Flair's pretty sure it's Anderson because he was saying like, I get on well with AJ from TNA, I can talk to him about anything, he's a really good guy, blah 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 blah. Luke Gallows, he's like a fun guy, and there's been loads of stories about how he's like a really cool guy backstage. He wouldn't do it. It sounds like Carl Anderson. If he's got a problem, he should say it to my face. Blah 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 blah. Like, it's just ridiculous. Ric Flair is just absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, he did like kiss Becky Lynch,
Oh.
and they had to remove it.
God, I remember that kiss her at Royal Rumble. Ugh.
I was looking at my phone at the time, just going through Twitter, and
Yeah.
and I look up and I'll see it's like the aftermath of it. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
What the fuck just happened? And then it was Wyatt Family versus New Day. Another really good match, I thought. This is what I mean. Battleground is never usually supposed to be good.
It's not that one event that has the one good match, and it's
Yeah.
like a little pre-build up to the next big fun event that everyone kind of looks forward to.
Yeah, because next month it's SummerSlam. No one was expecting Battleground to be good. But six-man tag, seeing them as a three, like New Day as a three, we were saying at the time, we kept forgetting how good all three of them were, especially Xavier Woods.
Yeah, he's very underrated, and he doesn't. I don't know why he doesn't get enough ring time,
And
because he's proven to be a good ring talker. And even without Xavier, both Biggie and Kofi could. I can't think of my words now.
Come on, you can do it.
Uh,
It's only an audio podcast now because he's struggling. They can just hear you struggling.
They did well without him. They
There
didn't,
we
they
go.
didn't need him to like survive, so it kind of showed that regardless of who's gone, it doesn't matter. But they're still better as a free.
The one thing I think I remember saying to you and Alex last night was they could have turned Bray into the next Undertaker because he's got like the whole mystique going on. The dreads suit him down to a T. He looks awesome with dreadlocks.
He does.
And there was a bit in the match where it had like Xavier starting to like almost like kneel down before Bray,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like a mystic power, the same way Undertaker had back in the day. And like you talk to any like
He has like a cult following where like everyone shines their phone lights and
yeah,
called
the
fireflies.
Fireflies. Like you think to about what are you around now? So 20 years ago. That's exactly the same power that or quote unquote power that Undertaker had. You talk to any like well, anyone really who isn't a wrestling fan, one of the ones they always know is Undertaker because he was always creepy as shit. Bray could be that next guy, but I don't know why they won't let him. They won't put a belt on him. They won't. They just keep feeding him to other people.
I think it is. I think because he's not exactly the most muscly guy. I mean, he's lost weight since he's come back.
Yeah, he lost a shit ton of weight, didn't he?
Yeah, and that, and I think Vince dislikes his happy, friendly characters, unless they're like big and masculine.
I don't know. I'm interested because the Wyatt family at the moment is a bit fucked. Because Harper, so the Wyatt family's made of Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, and Luke Harper. Luke Harper is out with a bad leg injury and didn't get drafted.
Nah, and he's not returning at the very earliest next month.
Yeah. And Braun Strowman has been drafted to the other show away from Bray and Eric.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he can't really wrestle very well.
No,
and he can't exactly talk very well, so he's like,
He's not. He's still quite green. He's not the best talker. I don't remember him going through NXT. I think he just got put straight in the main.
Yeah, but he did do like a developmental like thing for like 3 years.
Yeah.
But other than that, he kind of jumped the gun. It was very surprising.
So I'm kind of worried that he turns into the next like Great Khali or Heidenreich, where he gets put in. It's like, oh, I'm a big, massive monster heel, and then within a year he's doing Kiss Cam or eating Hershey's chocolate like a fucking failure. Because it happens every fucking time.
Yeah, it kind of does. I can't think of the last time a big guy was even like still taken seriously.
I think the last one who got made big immediately and stayed big, Sheamus. Because he won the world title within a year.
Yeah, and then look what they did. They tried to turn him to John Cena, and that turned everyone against him.
But then they went with it. For once they actually went against what they want and went with what the crowds want. They turned him heel. He got massive again.
What? When he returned?
So
with his mohawk? Which time are you talking about?
Well, he debuted heel and stayed heel, and then won the title as a heel.
Yeah.
Won King of the Ring as heel, and then at some point he turned face.
Yeah, it was.
Had a kind of a shitty run as a face. Like you said, everyone wanted him to be heel. He was US champion. I don't think he won the WWE title at that time, did he? As a face.
He won World Heavyweight.
Did he? Oh yeah, of course he won up and down O'Brien. Because that was fucking terrible as well.
I mean, that was when he was okay as a face. He was bearable. And then after that, he kind of got a bit too kind of smiley, happy. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Then when he came back with the mohawk, he was heel again, and everyone's liking the heel Sheamus because heel Sheamus is better than face Sheamus.
Yeah, but they still don't seem to like him. Bless him.
Who doesn't seem to like him?
The internet.
Oh, the IWC are a bunch of wankers. We're wankers.
I like him.
I like him as a heel.
He's better as
Yeah, he's better as a heel. From there, it was the American Dream, Zack Ryder, dressed in all the stars and stripes.
Kind of like Macho Man.
They were saying that his outfit is inspired by Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, and Sting before he was like the Crow.
Oh yeah.
It was Zack Ryder against Rusev, and Adam Blompe pointed out, great, the more liking to a American flag a wrestler is against a big foreign heel, the more likely they are to lose.
Yeah, and Zack Ryder, I mean, the fact that he lost the Intercontinental Champion a day after.
That was fucking bullshit. I'm still angry. Fucking Maurice and fucking Miz and it's fucking Zack Ryder Senior or whatever his
still
fucking name is. It's fucking bullshit. I hate it. And this was one of the matches where we said was going to set the tone for the other one because Rusev is United States, so Rusev is Raw.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder SmackDown. So it was either going to be Rusev beat Zack Ryder and therefore Miz was going to beat Darren Young, which was later on, or Zack was going to beat Rusev and that meant Darren was going to beat Miz. That way the title switch shows. It would have been annoying because that's how it was a few years ago when we had the draft because United States was on SmackDown. Intercontinental was on Raw. I kind of like the fact they shook it up because it gives a SmackDown a bit more legitimacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of awkward. But the match itself was pretty meh.
Yeah, it was bearable. It wasn't something you could like miss because Zack Ryder is quite entertaining, and then you got Rusev and Lana, so that's a win-win.
But then afterwards, fucking Mojo Rawley debuts on the main roster.
Star of the night.
Superstar
of the year.
I haven't seen such a deflated reaction from the crowd since.
It was like they didn't know what to think. It was like, we can't boo him or cheer him. We'll just let him do his thing.
It's the most deflated reaction since Brian Christopher, Grandmaster Sexay, came back in about 2008. I can't remember why. He came back as a heel, and he came through came up to the Titantron or at the stage, and it's supposed to be like, look, because I think there was someone feuding against Jerry Lawler. It's like, look, it's your son. He's gonna fight you. Oh, you're not gonna fight him. Well, I'm gonna beat him up. And then it's like the whole crowd was like, we really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, we give minus amounts of shit because it's Grandmaster Sexay. All he's known for is doing like a little dance with Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty. But he came out, it was fucking phenomenal. He came out screaming and yelling, getting right up in Rusev's face.
Rusev knew what to do.
Rusev just looked at him and was like, what the fuck is this?
That was pretty funny.
It was just incredible. He's just like looking around, like, what do I do with it? Do I like put it in the corner? Do I eat it? And he just like noped the hell out of it. He took his belt, I was like, fuck this, I'm out. Rusev out.
It's quite surprising. I thought they would have made him fight, but no.
It really fucking annoyed me because when he came out, he was saying, well, Michael Cole was saying, Michael Cole was saying that, well, he's just acting so surprised, like, I can't believe it, Mojo Rawley's here, he's here for his like NXT tag team partner. I was like, no one on this earth is surprised that Mojo Rawley is there.
Nah.
He got drafted from NXT, you knew exactly what they were going to do with him.
Likely going to happen since he was getting a beat down.
They were obviously going to put him with Zack Ryder because they were tag partners in NXT. If anyone was surprised by that, to have a word.
It would have been like a little boy who would have been surprised, or little child.
Fucking children, who cares about them?
Vince McMahon, damn it.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? And then match of the night for me, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
That was a pretty
fucking awesome match. I still want to know because there's a spot in it where Sami Zayn does like a seated springboard moonsault.
Yeah.
So whoever's on the outside, obviously at this time it was Kevin Owens. When he bounced too far into the ring, so it was like more of his ass bouncing more than his thigh.
Yeah.
Proper science here. And so he just bounced straight up and landed on a shoulder. And
he didn't get enough momentum on the first bounce. He kind of bounced and bounced again when he cocked it up. And
he landed on his shoulder, which would be painful as it is, because as JBL said about 80,000 fucking times, the apron is the hardest part of the ring.
In case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know that. He came back at Royal Rumble, so January, after nearly a year out with a shoulder injury.
It was about May time, so a good half a year at the most.
Yeah. Well, May till January.
Yeah, because he injured it by flinging his arms up, didn't he?
Oh, yes, that's what.
But they claimed it as Kevin Owens injured.
Yeah, well, yeah, just to give him more heat. But so he did that, and they worked with it the entire match. Like, so immediately, Owens threw him through.
I think it was a botch because when you look at it, Kevin Owens like immediately runs because I don't think if Kevin Owens hadn't been there, he would have landed on his head. Yeah. So I think it was a botch, and they were able to like work with it because of. I think Kevin Owens was there. He kind of like landed on him, and as he fell off Owens, he landed on his arm. Because during the match, I didn't point it out, but when they were on like the turnbuckle, you could hear him talking like for like periods of time. I was like, they're obviously planning stuff.
If it was a botch, then I know they're like on characters, they hate each other, but backstage they're really friends.
Speaking of botches, we didn't mention Big E nearly killing himself.
Oh fuck yeah! Right, I'll go back to the point I was going to make Sami Zayn. I really hope Big E is alive because Big E, for people who don't know, Big E is what, nearly 300 pounds.
He's pretty big.
He's a big motherfucker, And he often does a move where it's like a spear to the outside. He's forever landing on his head. I've seen him do it in the past 3 pay-per-views. He always lands directly in his head. He landed at the very tippy top of his head. All that weight fell right on his neck.
And he doesn't exactly have a big head either. It's kind of a...
Yeah, for someone the size he is, he just has like a really tiny head.
He doesn't exactly do it slowly. He probably goes for it.
Yeah, fuck, that looked painful.
And it really helped because he kind of like... I think it was Braun Strowman he did it to, wasn't it?
I think it might have been Eric, actually.
Whoever did it to, he did it, but they didn't fully go out, so they kind of like partially half fell, and obviously he kind of fell with them, and he landed proper on his head.
Yeah, it did seem like quite a sturdy contact between him and whoever it was. It definitely wasn't Bray, because Bray was saying the thing with Xavier. God, that looked painful. God, I hope he's alive. Yeah, back to the botch. If it was a botch with a mistake, then he definitely owes Kevin Owens a drink because he saved his fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, there was one a few months ago, Ryback versus Kalisto, where Kalisto was going to land on his head on the apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, don't you know? But if it was scripted, then fuck, he's got balls of steel to do that.
What, Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To quote unquote botch a move and land on his injured shoulder. But if it wasn't a botch, credit to them for working with it.
I'm going to say it was a botch just because of how when you look back at the replay, how instantly Kevin Owens like runs.
Yeah.
To him just to kind of like catch him.
I just don't know because it's that side of it, and then they focus on the rest of the match, and it's like if it is a botch, they usually focus on it for a little bit and then move on. They worked into the entire match. That might just say a lot about them, but.
Either that or they're just very good at keeping continuity. Because I mean, there was times with Nakamura when I was watching him and Finn Balor like did like a drop kick to his knee and he kept it for like a while, and then all of a sudden it kind of healed.
Okay, yeah.
And it was like, oh,
magic.
Yeah.
So I like the finish to that. They like haluva kick, catch him, looking into his eyes.
See, I thought they were gonna like twist it around. Kevin Owens like power.
I was expecting that. I was expecting like a second haluva kick. He like pops out, gives him the powerbomb, then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But that and the series of moves not long before that, which was
oh shit, yeah,
doing the like backwards exploder. Kevin
landed on his knees, so he didn't like proper.
Yeah, he landed on his knees, didn't hit anything. Went for a clothesline. Zayn ducked and then actually hit the exploder and actually nailed it. It was so good because after the near fall, you just sat there like,
wow.
He was supposed to win that. And then I had sads because Natalya versus Becky Lynch losing clean.
Yeah, and I called it.
Fuck off. Why do you think it? I really like Becky Lynch.
Oh, I do like her.
But they do not. Someone at management does not like Becky Lynch in the slightest.
Yeah, true.
Because she's the only one from what was formerly known as the Divas Revolution to not really have like a big impact so far. So you had, I still class Paige as part of that because she came from NXT and she did wonders. So you got I know she was in there. So you get Paige, who is a multiple-time Divas champion. Two-time, whatever.
2, 3.
That's still multiple, then one. The Bellas, who I don't really like them. Alicia Fox, who can on a good day have a good match, depending on who she's with. Usually the other person makes her look good, but if she can't make other people look good.
Yeah, no, she has to be someone experienced.
Yeah, so that was Team Bella. Team Bad was Tamina,
who's just disappeared off the face of the earth.
She's injured. She's got a ligament injury.
Oh yeah, she always gets injured.
Yeah. Naomi, who apparently she's due for a massive push on SmackDown. And she is really good, although her finisher is jumping up and throwing her bottom into people's faces.
What is it called?
The rear view. Fuck, they must have like the former workers from the Sun working on that.
It's probably Vince McMahon's mind playing in, as per.
Yeah, and then you had Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte. Obviously, Charlotte is currently women's champion. Sasha is been in the running more than once. Becky had the run at Mania, and I guess technically Royal Rumble, but it never really felt big for Becky.
Nah,
And they haven't made her look as strong. Lastly, with Royal Rumble, they had the whole thing with kissing Flair.
Yeah.
At Mania, she got hell because it was Charlotte tapping out Sasha, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was Becky Lynch.
But that's worse then. She had to take the fall.
I think so. Yeah, because I think I was mocking you for it because I wanted Sasha to win, and then when Charlotte lost, and I was like, oh, because of Becky, Steven.
Sasha lost.
Yeah, I meant.
You said Charlotte lost. Charlotte won at Mania.
Yeah, I meant just because. Yeah.
Dumbass. But she lost clean. It's by submission. It makes me sad because Becky Lynch is just phenomenal. But she'll probably get the belt one day.
The belt is on Raw though. We don't know what it's going to be like.
I really hope they didn't do what they did before and have the women's and Divas Championship because that was fucking terrible. I don't know why they did that for the women's. I would like them to have their own brand, if I'm honest.
Yeah, because Women of Honor. There's that Women of Honor, isn't there?
Yeah, they got Women of Honor in ROH now. It made sense a while ago when they had the two brands and they used to have intergender matches.
Yeah.
That made sense to have them all on one or like two different rosters, because you could actually mix and match. They won't do intergender matches anymore. They won't have like a man attacking a woman because feminism. So instead, it makes more sense for them to have their own thing because they very rarely interact with the male roster.
Unless they're like a valet. The only one really is Lana.
Yeah, Lana's the only valet now because Summer Rae is improving.
Kind of. And
hopefully Eva Marie disappears off the face of the fucking earth.
Yeah.
But all the other valets and managers now are male because Paul Heyman, his contract is up in the air, but if he stays or comes back at this point, Bob Backlund.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell, that's coming up now. Who else is there? Actually, I think that's it.
Unless you class the guy from NXT, I can't remember his name.
The guy from Paul Ellering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Still male again though. And then moving on from that, like I said, that'll come with Bob Backlund. The Miz versus Darren Young for the Intercontinental Championship. What the fuck was this match?
It wasn't even a good match to start off with.
No,
I mean, to be fair, I know as much as you hate the Miz, but he had two relatively good matches prior to Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah, the Fatal 4-Way Payback, was it?
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing.
It was.
But this though, like we were saying before, we watched What Just Happened by What Culture before we came down.
Yeah.
He called Becky Lynch the bathroom break match. I would say this was the bathroom break match up until the finish.
Yeah, because I mean,
where you needed to be here because no one would ever believe you.
Yeah, I didn't even know what happened. I was like, wait. So I thought the official ruling was, you said, even it says here, double disqualification. I thought it was a double count out.
I thought it was double count out, and the referee just forgot how to count.
Yeah.
Because basically the finish was, The Miz was like, fuck this, I'm leaving, which,
it started out like, what was it? Maurice got in Bob Backlund's face.
Yeah.
And then he started going apeshit.
No, that was after. It all started when...
Because I know one of them it was Maurice tried to distract Darren Young, kind of thing, and that's how I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But then after, that did happen, because then her and Bob had like a to and fro verbally. But then the Miz went to leave.
Yeah, because Maurice was on the floor for some reason. This is like...
No, this happens after... You don't remember things.
Well, because it's all clustered.
That's why I'm trying to explain it to you, dickhead! The Miz went to leave, and then Bob Backlund sort of stood there in like a pounce sort of thing. He's like, you're not going anywhere. I'm fucking mad. I'll eat my own face.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of stance.
He was like walking like a crab as well. Like going from
so, then Darren Young picked Miz up by the hair and put him in, and they had a few more things. Then Maurice and Bob Backlund had another going at it, and she slapped him, and he had the weirdest fall I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, that's coming back to me now. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he got back up, at which point he started ripping off his shirt, which doesn't work when you're wearing braces like he was. So it just
he was trying to have the effect, and
he just got stuck and looked like a really bad stripper.
Yeah, he looked like he was in a bloody tight jacket.
But at this point, for some reason, Maurice was on the floor.
See, this kind of happened before. Miz was against Kane in a Raw match, and I can't remember when it was, but it was a Intercontinental match because Miz had just come back from a film, and he was mocking Kane for his film career, and Kane like shouted at Maurice, and then Maurice kind of fell to the floor and acted like her leg was injured, and it made no sense. And then Miz just carried her out, and then that was it. And it was just, I was like, is that what they're gonna do again? But she ended up being on the floor.
She was just sat on the floor saying that Bob had hit her. Miz came out and got up in Bob Backlund's face and pushed him to the ground and started saying like, "Don't you ever touch Maurice? I'm the Intercontinental. You're meant to be a Hall of Famer." Blah 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 blah. And then Darren Young came out and put like a sleeper hold on him, and then the referee called for the bell. Now, I'm sorry. And
then he started beating him up.
Yeah, and then he started beating him up, which I would understand if it was a DQ for that. But the bell's already rung by that point because referees came out and he pushed over a ref. They kept saying, "Oh, that's fine, he's going to get in trouble, blah, blah, blah," because they're fucking assholes. But there was nothing, when the bell went, there was nothing to say it was a WDQ because he was giving him the crossface chicken wing or like some sort of sleeper hold on the outside.
Yeah.
That's legal. Bob Backlund hadn't hit The Miz. Maurice hadn't hit Darren Young, so there was no outside interference, so that couldn't have caused it. There was literally no reason to cause double disqualification.
I feel like it was just a cock-up in general for the event. I feel like what made it go that way.
It was just such a colossal clusterfuck. I think they wanted to keep the end where it's him like walking back after beating up The Miz, like looking at his hands, because I think that's what...
Yeah, because he did that, and then I was like, what was he doing?
I think that's what Backlund did back in the day.
Yeah, because
they made like a reference to it, like that's familiar.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Backlund did in the day, like, because obviously he's like his quote unquote black coach.
I think the original plan was to make them both not look weak or strong, so they don't lose.
Yeah, but they can't. They kind
of cocked it up.
It's a really bad screwy finish. They can't have a rubber match because they're on two separate shows.
Unless they do, because they kind of did this at SummerSlam in the first draft when you're like Eric Bischoff and Stephanie McMahon. They're like, oh yeah. One brand, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but it was one superstar was on SmackDown and Raw, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to get this championship, and we're going to keep this championship." And it was kind of like this. So I wonder if they do. I wonder if they might do that again, because it wouldn't surprise me. Because it was SummerSlam 2002.
Yeah, but it's just everything about that match was so bad. It was the first time I've heard Darren Young's new entrance theme with Bob Backlund going, I was like, "Make Darren Young great again." It's like,
yeah,
what? It just sounded awful.
It would sound better without his.
Yeah, I don't like it without him screaming on the top of it. I would like Darren Young without Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund's fucking nuts.
I think he kind of makes him.
I don't know. I think the best Darren Young has ever been is when he was with Titus O'Neil, Private Time Players, because they were damn entertaining.
They were, and then for some reason they just kind of went their separate ways.
Yeah, fucking hell.
But I'd like to clarify, The Miz is still...
Fuck off, I hate him.
Intercontinental champion.
Just piss off, you stupid cauliflower head prick. Then it was the big six-man tag. The Club, which was AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows versus John Cena, Enzo Amore, a big cast. Enzo Amore's promo at the start of the match was fucking amazing.
It was like a poem.
It was beautiful.
As you like say it, you were like, "Oh, I want Enzo to write my wedding vows."
Absolutely, I do. It was unreal. Annoying me is nothing we can quote to people to say like this is hilarious because it was all like wrestling references. Like
one of them was just like never look at someone while eating a banana.
Yeah, it was like I'm gonna give him some advice, and usually gonna say like don't come at me, like you're gonna get beaten up, just stay home, whatever. And it's like, don't eat yellow snow, don't pee in the wind, don't make eye contact with someone whilst eating a banana. I was like, what? But I thought the promo was amazing. John Cena looked really good considering, because everyone always has to think like John Cena wins, lol. He actually looks like he's starting to put over talent now, which is really good.
Yeah.
He passed over the talking thing because I
keep seeing that everyone's like, oh, he's passed over the Doctor of Thugonomics, because I don't think many people even remember. I remember because I grew up with him.
Oh yeah,
I remember when he was a heel and everyone's like obsessed with his like days now. It's like no, I remember.
He did play a really good heel. That's why everyone keeps going for it back. I think the match itself was alright. I think people were still kind of burnt out from Sami Zayn, Owens, and very, very confused by Miz Young.
I think the last 10 minutes of it were really good.
Yeah, I was saying to you before we go home, this is the part of the night where things got a bit hazy for me, because I've been up since I think about 9. I've been cleaning during the day, then met my parents, then went to work for 7 hours, and we got held behind. That's when I met you and walked down. It was like we didn't actually get to yours till about 1:45. That's how we managed to catch Breezango versus Usos. So I was fucking shattered. I didn't get a chance to go to a shop either. So this is where it starts getting a bit hazy. From what I remember, it was a good match for a 6-man tag. So 6-man tags are very rarely any good.
Yeah.
That's why I was concerned when they had Evolution versus the Shield and the Shield versus the Wyatts.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, I was really worried.
I was saying to us they should have saved that for WrestleMania.
Oh, absolutely. I got really worried about that because I was thinking it's going to be so bad. But then end up, like I said, they're both really good matches. This, I'd say, is really good. Enzo is... I love what they're doing with Enzo because he's a really small, Enzo. Especially compared to Big Cass, who is not 7 foot fucking tall. You lying sacks of dicks. But I remember there was a bit in it where they're all surrounding Enzo and he's like, "Come at me, bro." And
I don't think I was looking at that then, because I saw that and then I heard that and I was like, I can't remember that.
They are giving him a bit more character and a bit more of a person, to be honest.
Yeah.
Then that match happened, and then it was a Shield triple threat: Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. The only entrance I remember is that Roman Reigns, and that's because he got booed right out of Washington
and
DC.
They proper muted it,
They muted as much as they could, but even still, I remember it sounded fucking brutal.
I think it even got worse when he came out.
Yeah,
and that's when they muted it. You could hear Michael Cole and all that really clearly, and I was like, they've muted that.
Yeah, but
so not even that can save him.
I want Reigns to be heel. That's all anyone wants. At this point, he can play it so well. It's like, you guys forced me to have that drug suspension, or I didn't need you, blah, 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 blah. It'd be kind of a dark twist to go to exploit the suspension in that way.
Someone who I follow on Twitter was saying Reigns looks more scary with his full beard.
Yeah, he does look a bit more menacing. Seth can play. He could be like the Jericho face, a really cocky, arrogant face.
Yeah, he couldn't be like a baby face kind of guy.
No, he couldn't be like a John Cena kind of guy, or the guy WWE wanted Roman Reigns to be. But they could absolutely make Rollins face, because especially now, Reigns and Rollins are
way more over with the fans now.
Yeah, Reigns and Rollins are on the same show. They're on Raw. Ambrose on SmackDown. It would make sense to switch the roles. The match itself was alright. I like the double team on Reigns, because that's one of the few things I actually remember. The double powerbomb.
Yeah, and they just beat him up.
Yeah, beat the shit out of him.
Times, and everyone cheered. It was happy times, happy days.
I remember the finish as well. I remember the really close finish. Who was it?
It was Reigns speared Seth, so kind of moved him away, and as soon as he did that, he did.
That was the main finish. I remember Shane on the outside was going spacker over a near fall. I think that was when Rollins pedigreed Reigns and pinned him immediately. There was no bounce away, crawl, cover.
Oh yeah, because they were cutting that close.
Yeah, it was so fucking close, to the point where I thought, shit, Seth Rollins just beat Roman Reigns. I think Reigns taking a pinfall says a lot about his drug suspension.
Yeah, they are really
clean as well.
Yeah.
But that's something I forgot to say. Jericho's segment with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
It's cool seeing Randy Orton back, but fuck, that promo lasted a while. I think that's what put me to sleep.
It did. I was getting a bit bored. I mean, I didn't expect it to be that long, and it wasn't really much about the match.
Fucking Viperville.
That was funny.
That was terrible. Don't defend that.
Hey, but what came afterwards?
Well, actually,
I thought his WrestleMania 29 was funny. It's just I have 9. You come back after 9 months and face Fandango.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember that. I think that's when I was asleep. Oh.
Yeah, it was just that
would have been a great line.
Yeah, because he was mocking him because he's been away for 9 months, and then he was like, "Well, you after you came back for after 9 months, you go and face
Fandango 29.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like the Viper line. I thought they had balls doing the enhancements line.
Yeah.
So I think people will be a bit more familiar with UFC. Brock Lesnar just faced Mark Hunt at UFC 200.
Yeah.
Lesnar won, and it's turned out that he's got two counts on a UCLA, so a drug offence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mark Hunt is up in arms. He's saying he's going to quit UFC because of it. UFC are saying they're not going to do anything about it. Don't know if they're going to suspend Lesnar. I don't think it'd make a difference because he's not there enough.
Yeah.
That's what it is now. The line was, I don't need drug enhancements to win, which either way you cut it, if they've like...
What, did he actually mention that?
Yeah. He said like, I can go to Suplex City and I can walk out without the need of enhancers. A total like...
I thought he was after the Viper Phil thing?
I think it was after, yeah.
Because I thought he took the piss out of Jericho by saying, I don't need you on, at least I'm not enhancement.
No, he was taking enhancements. He was having a pop at Lesnar.
I thought he was having a pop at Jericho.
No, man, no. Where were you?
I'm sure. No, because I heard the enhancement and I thought it was a pop at.
No, it's Lesnar. Everyone. Well, I was listening to Blampier this morning. And he was like, "It's having that massive pop at Lesnar." Because that's what I mean.
Oh, because I was brushing my teeth when I heard that part. But I don't know. You? Yeah, because I watched it before I came in. I was brushing my teeth.
Right.
So maybe I must have misheard it wrong. Because I asked Alex, and he was like, and when he mentioned the enhancement, it came to my mind as Jericho is just there for enhancement for superstars. So he's popping at him.
No, they're having to go at Lesnar because he's, like I said, he's been done for like a drug count. He's been found out like that.
Now I understand why maybe it was a bit more.
That's why the entire crowd went, "Holy shit! You just said that out loud. He's going to murder you." Because
he did like a drop mic as well.
Oh, I really wish he did. Because that's the thing.
He did. He dropped the mic.
Yes. It's that thing. If they got permission from Lesnar, then that's overly cheeky. That's like kind of like a jab in the face of UFC, previous drugs, but fucking Roman Reigns, like indirectly, etc. Because they're all like taking piss. If they didn't, which let's face it, Vince McMahon and WWE are used to like telling their talents one thing and then doing something completely different. Like Montreal. Then they have got massive testicles to try and make that sort of joke against Brock Lesnar, who is 9/10 mountain.
Yeah, and the fact that Randy Orton has to like face him in like just under a month.
What's your opinion on that? What do you reckon Orton's a good opponent for Lesnar?
Yeah, but it depends how they're going to portray Orton. Like you saying they're trying to make him top babyface. I'd like it to be kind of an equal match, but I think Brock would still win.
I think I'm fully expecting Brock to win, especially that he's beat Hunt. The one problem I've got is the last few matches that Lesnar's had.
Dean Ambrose was a bit of an anti-climax.
Yeah, if they've been against big guys like your Roman Reigns, I guess even Triple H, Big Show, they've been relatively okay.
Big Show, the last one against the Big Show was terrible.
It wasn't that bad. Cause it was a bit of a squash, but it was just brutal because it was the chairs match at TLC a few years ago.
Oh no, about the one in Madison Square Garden. That's the last one.
Oh yeah, of course, forgot about that. Yeah,
just shook him around. It was like wow, boring.
But Lesnar when he gets big guys, it's a bit more entertaining because it just shows how strong he is.
I think his last proper good match was probably with the Undertaker at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Against Undertaker and people like that, he can do good matches. When he's against the smaller guys like your Dean Ambrose, your Kofi Kingston, John Cena. No, John Cena. John Cena matches were quite good. They're never really as good. Oh, Seth Rollins. All the Seth Rollins matches were like really boring.
Yeah, it was just too one-sided.
Yeah. And for him to go against Randy Orton, who is not the biggest, if he's coming back from shoulder injury, to take that many German suplex is pretty brave. I think that's why they kept them out for so long, because they wanted to do it. They need to make sure his shoulder was absolutely super ready.
Because they land on their shoulders, don't they? Or they take the impact.
Yeah. They're on the shoulder blades. He's got hypermobility anyways. That's why Kennedy got fired. Mr. Kennedy back in the day, because he dropped them on his shoulder. Randy threw a temper tantrum. and then got him sacked. Well, that's the theory, at least.
Yeah, well, he moaned about it and cried about it, and then told John Cena as well.
Yeah, because
like mates.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. It could come to SummerSlam. It'd be amazing.
I said just as Sid, whatever his name is,
Vicious.
Yeah, he was like, it could be a good match if they build it up right, but he's like, no, in WWE it would just be a one-off thing that has nothing to it.
I'm kind of looking forward to the RKO into a German suplex, or the German suplex into an RKO, which I think would be a lot better, but kind of difficult to do.
Well, he could like chuck him.
Yeah, he could just like throw him straight up and they can come down the RKO. But if he goes to the RKO, he could just grab him and throw him. But yeah, that's a all but guaranteed thing. If he brings out the punt, he won't because of concussions. But if he brought back the punt, that'd be awesome.
That would be. But then again, they're trying to go for that. They have been kind of going a bit more edgy.
There's edgy, and then there's going against like what put some of their superstars in the ground.
Yeah.
Which, bit of a difference. So that was Battleground. I thought it was a really good event. Like I said, the Darren Young Miz match just makes me
I think that was the only proper yeah.
Final Deletion in TNA.
Wow.
So everyone, whether or not they realise it or not, is familiar with the guys in Final Deletion. It's Matt and Jeff Hardy, who everyone grew up with. They were the ones who did like the finger guns. They were always just started, part of the Brood. They were in TLC at WrestleMania, which a lot of people know about.
People like the cool guys to play as the games for wrestling fans.
Jeff left, got fired from WWE in about 2003. He went to TNA, made TNA kind of big. Came back to WWE for a while. They were separate for a while, came back as the Hardys and separated again. So they feuded together. Jeff went, Matt stayed behind for a little bit, then Matt went. Jeff had already gone back to TNA. Matt eventually went to TNA as well, got signed full time. They were together. Jeff got injured, came back together. Matt turned on Jeff again. It's always Matt turning on Jeff.
Yeah.
Even back in 2001, they sort of like a half split up at Vengeance, and that was Matt going against Jeff.
Yeah.
It's never Jeff.
He's always played the villain as well.
Yeah.
Like his Matt 2.0 or whatever it was.
Version 1.
That's it.
God, 2.0. So now they're both in TNA. And Matt Hardy has this broken Matt Hardy gimmick.
Yeah.
Which he's got backcombed hair, a white spray going through it. He's with his wife, Rebby Sky, his son, Maxwell, who, A, that's a stupid name, B, I don't think the child's 1 yet. And he's just appearing in all these vignettes. And usually in the feud, they have the two people build it up, so they have like one person gets to win, another guy gets to win, and then they have the big rub match at the end. This time they did it differently. So they had Matt in this weird broken Matt gimmick where he's talking with a South African stroke, British stroke, Irish stroke, every other fucking thing language.
Yeah, slash Jamaican.
I feel like it's borderline racist, but who knows. They went to Jeff Hardy's house, was sending in drones.
Mowing his lawn.
They destroyed his lawn. And it's all really bizarre. And then they go... Do they go to Matt's house or they go to Jeff's house for the actual...
I think they go to Matt's house.
They go to Matt's house, and it's like... He's calling him Brother Nero, because his middle name is Nero, and they're going to have, like... Whoever wins keeps the Hardy name, the other one gets deleted.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It wasn't a match, it was more of a show.
It was all like a mini film, like, finale.
Yeah. And it starts, obviously, the actual film itself starts with like Jeff mowing his lawn at his house, and then playing the guitar, and then these little drones come out, and like it's Matt talking to him, telling him to come to his house for a fight. Jeff chases him on his dirt bike and hits him with a guitar. Matt ruins his lawn. They eventually go to his house. They set up like this really ghetto ass ring in his garden.
Like a backyard wrestling.
Yeah. They have a match. It has a botch, which is staggering.
Oh, yeah, he jumps on a tree.
Yeah, he jumps from a tree onto a ladder. But I don't know. I think the ladder wasn't set up properly, so he just like literally bounces off it and just like gets really twisted. It looks kind of nasty. Then Matt shoots a firework cannon at Jeff.
And all he has is like a bloody trash can.
Yeah.
Laid as protection.
And then his fucking the fucking amazing. Because Matt has this, like I said, this like really awful accent, and then he loses it for like a split second. He's like, "Brother Nero." He's got this like rage. He's like, "Brother Nero, it's time to face the end." Oh shit! Because there's now Jeff Hardy with like a firework cannon, and it's like, "Yeah, I'm right." Oh shit, motherfucker! And then starts shooting at him, and he's hiding underneath like a canoe or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they end up fighting in this river.
Oh, Senor Benjamin.
Yeah, Senor Benjamin. They fight in a river, but then Jeff comes back as
Willow, which is like apparently his alter ego.
There's an alter ego they had in Omega Wrestling back in the day.
I think he hasn't used it in TNA.
Yeah, he's used it in TNA, but Omega is where it came about. Then Willow was putting Matt in a stranglehold, and then Senor Benjamin, who's Matt and Rebby's gardener, tases him while they're standing in a fucking river. Obviously, it's not a real taser, but what? And then there's Willow like screaming, and this like weird little yodel he does, and then he ends up on the ground. Well, they fall back in the water, and when they come back up, it's Jeff again, which was really weird.
Yeah, and it turns out Senor Benjamin was Willow or something like that.
I don't know. At this point, I found it difficult to watch at this point. And I remember the end. Somehow Jeff got the advantage and put Matt on the floor.
They ended up like fighting in some like sand.
Yeah.
Like a little sand pit.
Jeff climbed a ladder which was on top of like a little mini sand dune.
It was like a I know he climbed onto like this symbol, which is like the symbol for the Hardys.
And then
which represents like fire or something.
Didn't he have some like sort of vision or something? Or did it just catch fire?
Yeah, I don't know which one had the vision, but he had like visions of it like past like in the past of like when they were children and stuff, and then it just burst up into flames, and Matt just Jeff just kind of flung off and fell down, and then that was it.
That was the finish, just him falling off a ladder, which he's done hundreds and hundreds of times.
And it was on fire, but even still, he landed on some sand, and the poor referees had to like run with it.
And the entire thing, because apparently, because WWE at the time were in a tour of Japan, I want to say.
Yeah.
When it first got aired, and
because they were some of the superstars were watching it,
and they were pissing themselves. They were treating it as like a joke because it is. And then WWE did it. They did it at the compound between the Wyatts and New Day.
Yeah, which you've not actually seen, have you?
I haven't seen it, no, because like I said, I haven't been able to watch in a while.
But theirs was like totally different. Theirs, I don't know if TNA took theirs like seriously, but WWE definitely took theirs a bit seriously. Apparently they took it like they were thinking that this is like amazing television because the feud isn't over. They're still feuding. Really? They had a thing where there's another vignette back at like one of the houses, and it was like Matt just mocking Jeff. Oh right, yeah. And it's just they're still carrying on. It doesn't look like they're gonna get rid of it for a while. Like the match, when What Culture were doing a little thing for it. Apparently, the match before the Final Deletion between the Hardys was at Slammiversary in the Steel Cage. That was meant to be the last match ever on TNA programming. Jeff won it. Yeah,
they had massive money issues. I think they still do.
Yeah, because they weren't even sure if that was the end for TNA.
Yeah, apparently that was going to be the last match ever on TNA television. And so they've carried it on like this. This is what's keeping them afloat right now. This is what's keeping TNA. And back in the day, TNA was phenomenal. Like it makes me heartbroken. I remember watching it as like the.
I remember there was like a period when I started watching it. It was between like 2007, 8 time, and you had like people like Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy. No, I don't know if Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff was just about to leave at that point.
Yeah, I think I saw the odd episode with him in. It might have been like past reruns, but I used to watch it around that year, and I remember I think I saw like one of the pay-per-views as well.
But
it was really good.
I remember watching a few of the 2002, 2003.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of them. The old TNA because they had like a 4-sided ring.
Yeah, and then it went to 6-sided when it became Impact, and I watched the crap out of that because that was the only way I could watch wrestling when I was growing up. Because the wrestling channel, it wasn't part of the Sky Sports package, which most of Raw SmackDown was on. So I watched that, and it was amazing. One of my favourite matches, still to this day of all time, is AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe.
Which I watched because you said it was really good, and then I watched it on YouTube. I was like, this is awesome.
It's a fucking amazing match. AJ Styles, back then he was a lot more flexible and agile. He does a running springboard shooting star press. Yeah. Which is just unreal. It's such a unique... It's fucking... Oh my god, that match is so great. I want to watch it again. But to see that And then steadily a few people left and some people came in. A lot of like the WWE rejects. Some of them worked, like Mr. Anderson worked, who was Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, but he got fired eventually, didn't he?
Yeah. MVP didn't work. Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, they both worked. But then as more of them left, then you had fucking Russo come in again after he already ran it back in 2002, and it was weird because it's kind of like a new version of the NWO called Sports Entertainment Extreme. It spells sex. Can you see the joke? You can tell it's Rusev. And then it was Bischoff and Hogan who've never really got on.
That's I think when I always like tried to research. I was like, when did TNA like go to shit? And everyone's like, around the time Hogan and Bischoff came.
Yeah, I saw a thing on Instagram which remember when New Day had the like time capsule thing?
Yeah.
She had like the Kofi Kingston one where it's like back in 2009. It's like this was my best ever run, and then it had Xavier Woods go in and went to roughly the same time 2009 when he was Consequences Creed in TNA, yeah. And it was just as Hogan and Bischoff were coming in, and he was having like a bad run, like a losing streak, and it's just like a thing of like Consequences Creed coming down, and you just see like Xavier fake crying as an overlay, and like it's killed from that, and now it's predominantly Dixie Carter, who is not a wrestling promoter. She's a businesswoman, and she's running that thing into the ground.
It's basically WCW all over again.
Yeah, it really is. And at one point, I legit thought TNA were going to really challenge WWE.
Yeah, I would have liked that. Well, they tried to when Hogan and Bischoff came in. They were like, "Yeah, we're going to go Monday nights."
That's what I mean. That's when they went to
that lasted for like 2 months.
And now they keep changing the time every fucking day. It's just so it makes me sad. TNA needs to shut down all the good wrestlers. So I know Moose has just gone across there. Moose, EC3, I know Mike Bennett. They all need to go back to Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor is phenomenal right now. Either Ring of Honor or Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I need to watch them.
Lucha Underground. I've seen that first half of season 1. It's amazing. It's a lot more.
It's recently new, isn't it?
Yeah. They do it in a weird like season base. I've always said to people who don't watch wrestling, wrestling is like a soap opera, but with a lot more punching.
It's basically like stuntmen fighting.
Yeah, instead of like Stacey Turner shooting everyone every 10 minutes, or Phil Mitchell. Lucha Underground is a soap opera of a soap opera. It's so dramatic and like so cliche, but it's just the wrestling in there is fantastic because they've got like a really small stage.
Yeah.
So they can run up it, run across, and fly about 12 feet off. And just like dive into each other. It's amazing, and TNA just needs to shut down because I don't know. The only one they have originals left that I can recall right now are James Storm, who I think is stagnating a bit, and Abyss, who admittedly has got a new thing going with Crazy Steve and Rosemary.
Yeah, well, I remember when I first watched it, he was like portrayed as like a monster heel, and then I remember reading everyone's like they're trying to turn him into like the new Mankind, kind of character, and yeah,
that was the part of the K. Abyss, Crazy Steve, Rosemary. That they're doing okay from what I've read. I haven't watched TNA in so long, I just can't stomach it anymore. But yeah, they're doing okay. I remember because the championships over there change all the fucking time.
Yeah. Because they were like, at first they were part of the NWA, North Wrestling Alliance, because it was run by Jeff Jarrett.
That's not right.
National Wrestling Alliance. There you go. And then after that, they kind of made their own championship.
Yeah, because that's when I thought they were going to be legit, because they broke away from the NWA. They became their own company. But that's fucking pissing me off. Lashley beat Eddie Edwards for the Lashley was World Heavyweight Champion. Eddie Edwards was X Division. And they were going to have like, not unification, but both titles on the line. Lashley is now the X Division champion. Goes against everything X Division stands for, because X Division is basically the Cruiserweight title, but it put TNA on the map because it's like high flying, it's very technical.
It was because of Christopher Daniels, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's exciting wrestling. The first ever TNA X Division champion was AJ Styles.
Yeah,
that puts it into perspective. And then he had some great match with Christopher Daniels. That triple threat was for the X Division. It was a legitimate title.
That says a lot when Samoa Joe's not exactly
small. He's not small, but he's agile. Yeah. really agile. He can do a lot more than most. But Abyss has held the X Division Championship. He's not agile in the slightest.
Oh dear.
It is, oh dear. And you got fucking James Storm, who's now the King of Mountain champion, which is their version of the Intercontinental Television. And it's just so depressing to see what it was to what it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really glad I saw this now. Grado, who is like a really big Scottish wrestler, big as in the fact that people just really like him. He's been feuding with Al Snow for 2 years.
Oh wow!
Al Snow, because
puts the Hardys feud to shame.
So TNA had British Boot Camp, where they came over to Britain, found some wrestlers, took them across, had like an NXT style talent show, and then they kept them on or got rid of them. That's where Rockstar Spud came from. That's where Mandrews came from, and one other who I think Rob Terry came through that way. So Grado was a part of British Boot Camp. He turned up late for a session, and Al Snow ripped him to shreds to tell him to fuck off. He kept coming back. He refused to accept the fact he'd like missed out. So I think it was Samoa Joe talked to Al Snow and let them have another go. To which point Al Snow just like fed him to all the biggest guy and get the shit kicked out of him, to the point where Grado said, "How about me and you have a match?" Al Snow accepted. And then Al Snow just kept like victimizing him and putting him through shit. Had a full-on feud, and so Al Snow started wrestling again. Grado ended up getting fired because of pink slip. That's a stipulation for one of the matches he had separate away from Al Snow. He came back, and now he's back feuding with him again. Because it's Al Snow with, I can't remember what the names, it's two French guys. They used to be Sylvester Lefort and someone in NXT. So it's basically Al Snow and these two French guys versus Al Snow, Baron Dax, and how was it, Marco Louis, and Basil Baraka versus Grado, I think Eli Drake, and Mahabali Shera. And it's like, that's been going for 2 years. 2 years of a feud.
But is it a good feud?
No! It's Al Snow and fucking Grado.
Well, he's over here in the UK doing his own little school at the minute, so.
Oh, TNA to shut down.
They should let Vince McMahon buy him.
All that, yeah, and just let them be a third brand. Hopefully it won't go as well as when ECW was a third brand. Like, make it legitimate and good. But, I don't know. I don't even know anymore. That was Battleground, which again I thought Battleground's pretty good.
It was.
And then shitting all over TNA and the Final Deletion between the Hardys. That's a point I'm going to quickly check, because part of the stipulation of the Final Deletion was whoever lost was going to lose the Hardy name. So does that mean? Oh no, it still says he's Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, but I imagine it would be on like the TV show. I don't imagine.
As in, like, it says current stage name is.
Oh right.
Yeah, it just says forcing Matt to drop the Hardy 9. Does that mean he's just Jeff? My name is Jeff.
Yeah.
My name is Jeff. At least he's still got Perix Wygen, because TNA just makes me angry. Normal service will resume next week. You have been Callum Barden.
I have.
I've been me. Any last parting comments?
All I can say, Steve, is stay awesome.
Fuck off, you cauliflower dick.